Garbage day! Huh? No!
トロビオ、ここはお前の住む世界ではない。
私は自らの力で蘇るのではない。欲深な人間どもによって蘇るのだ。力が唯一の正義なのだからな。
それはお前の勝手な言い草だ。人々は同じ信念のもとで求め合い、集い、そして歩んでいく。
だが、現に人間どもは欲望によって発展し、信仰によって統率されてきたではないか。
人間は力だけでは統率できない。敬い、慈しむ心があるからこそ統率ができるのだ。
くだらん。どちらが正しいか、死をもって分からせてやる。
How can I tell what's real and what's not? Everything looks the same, sounds the same, tastes the same.
Seems like I'd be the last person you'd want to ask.
Why not? You're obviously not here. I'm obviously not here, which means this is a creation of my mind, which means I'm really just asking myself.
If you talk to yourself, there's a lot of unnecessary explanation.
Hey, I'm trying to work this out. It requires give and take, even in my own mind.
What was the question?
How can I tell what's real?
Does it matter?
That doesn't sound like something I'd ask.
All right. Your concern is that if you act in the real world based on information that's not real, the results are impossible to foresee.
With you so far.
But information is incapable of harm in and of itself. Ideas are neither good nor bad, but merely as useful as what we do with them. Only actions can cause harm.
That sounds like me.
So you do nothing. You refrain from taking any actions. You continue to throw out your ideas as you always would, but if they're based on faulty assumptions, your team will point that out. You won't do anything that could hurt them.
So I trust my team.
That every year, 1 million people commit suicide. 1 million. That's 2,800 a day. That's one every 30 seconds. There goes another guy.
You pretend to buck the system, pretend to be a rebel, claim to hate rules. But all you do is substitute your own rules for society's. And it's a nice, simple rule. Tell the blunt, honest truth in the starkest, darkest way. And what will be, will be. What will be, should be. And everyone else is a coward. But you're wrong. It's not cowardly to not call someone an idiot. People aren't tactful or polite just because it's nice. They do it because they got an ounce of humility. Because they know that they will make mistakes. And they know that their actions have consequences. And they know that those consequences are their fault. Why do you want so bad not to be human, huh?
In 1882, a sickly German man penned these words: "God is dead, God remains dead, and we have killed him. How shall we comfort ourselves, the murderers of all murderers?" This is...
They have taken the bridge and the second hall. We have barred the gates, but cannot hold them for long. The ground shakes. Drums in the deep. coming.
Life is pain. I wake up every morning, I'm in pain. I go to work in pain. You know how many times I wanted to just give up? How many times I've thought about ending it?
I'm not an exceptional person, you know. Nothing interesting really ever happens to me. I'm massively flawed, and I think I'm quite forgettable, if I'm being 100% honest. And this isn't the shit bit at the end of the show where I get on the cross, I'm like, love me on the way out the door. It's not that. It's just that I don't think, like, on a scale of 1 to memorable, I'm not that memorable. Not on, like, the Morgan sort of scale. Not on the Ernest Hemingway scale, certainly, you know. But if I tell a great story, maybe people will remember that instead. Remember the card trick and just pretend that they don't know how it's done, you know? But must we leave a legacy? Must we make an impact? Do we have to leave a footprint? Is it okay to just settle? Seek safety? Nest, you know? Or must we constantly shake our lives up, or suffer the indiscriminate cruelty of having it shaken against our will? Must we try to carve a path through the tall grass, feeling as though no one has ever felt how we feel? Terrified at what may be lurking low in the grass on either side of us, but just pressing ever onwards with that Paleolithic instinct deep within our chromosomes that the only way is forward, that you have to keep going, that eventually you'll stumble upon the edge of the field, hitch a ride from a passing car, and meet up with the rest of the gang for tea and sandwiches at the old town hall. Do we feel like the path that we are carving through the grass is all our own? Only to finally float above the field with the sweet relief of expiration and realise that the field is insignificantly minuscule in size and that there's only one path through the grass, the exact same one that every human has trod before us and will ever after, just stumbling blindly along a tiny hyphen between the words birth and death. And when reduced to that level of crisp simplicity, fear cannot exist.